slavery. Now, slavery in the real world and everyday life is shunned. It's bad, it's not good. Slavery is awful, totally off limits. But in Rimworld, slavery is fantastic. It's brilliant. It's great for getting people to do what you want, and it's a fantastic way to grow your colony quickly and efficiently without having to worry about IG legions. Now, we have an issue within this colony: slaves. We are collecting slaves like I don't know what. We've got Apocalypse here. We've got Thorgan, Morgan, Tortor. We have Lackey and Smelly. We have now outnumbered ourselves to slaves to colonists. And I think I have an idea of how we fix this. So welcome to the Sanguophage Survival Series, episode 3. And if you enjoy any of today's episode, consider liking, subscribing. Make sure you tell your mum about it, and let me tell you my plan. Now, I've been exploring the World Wide Webinet, and I have learned about the ranks of vampires. I've scoured various Wattpads and fandoms and all these exciting things that I've never been to look at before. It turns out a vampire's rank, in quotations, is determined by their age. Anything over 1,000 years makes them an elder. Anything between 400 years and 1,200 years makes them an ascendant. Anything under the age of 400 years is just a kind of service rank. They're all split off into individual ranks and specializations. Now, Jezebel here is theoretically 51 years old, right? But chronologically, 782, so that's what we're going to go for. She is theoretically an ascendant ranked vampire. And then once she reaches 1,000, she becomes a master and an elder and all these exciting things. So, what that means is that there's a ranking system within the vampire thing. In order for us to get more colonists, we have a rule: they have to be vampires. But what we can do with Jezebel is implant her genes. So, rather than wait for the very rare opportunity that we can collect a vampire, why don't we select special slaves to become vampires so that we can then utilize their abilities so we're not totally outnumbered to a point where we could just die? I think that's a fantastic idea. And what better way than to start with Smelly? Smelly? How did you get in there? I'm sorry, I'm going to have to take a quick pause here. Smelly, how did you... Smelly managed to go through this wall here, through all the rocks to get into here. Smelly is already a vampire, confirmed. So I guess now with Jezebel, we just implant the genes, I guess, and then we see what happens to Smelly. An ogre vampire. It sounds like a very scary combination. And let's implant the genes. And there we go. Genes re-implanted. Jezebel is absolutely fine. She's only gene loss shocked, but that's no worries. And Smelly. Genogermination coma. And if we look at your bio, you are now a vampire. So not only do you have the traits of an ogre, great mining, strong cooking, fat body, cannibal, brilliant, strong immunity and all those good things, but you are now also a vampire. So your stats are very unaffected, honestly. You're just now a lot better at melee, which is very exciting. So Smelly, you can now be a actual prisoner. We're going to imprison Smelly and we're going to recruit Smelly to become an actual colonist. So now that we have another vampire on the way, now we really need to start looking towards building Jezebel's castle. Whilst we are building up a small colony of traders and business people that we can have help out around the town, Jezebel needs her castle. And this is the location I have chosen for it. I guess I'm going to plan something out and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Right, so I think I've planned out roughly what I want with Jezebel's castle. So we've got a basic castle structure in the middle of a square with 4 towers on each corner. And then down the middle we have a corridor where we'll have Jezebel's throne at one end and then kind of like a walkway going to her throne. And then we can kind of fill in the outside bits, outside rooms with different things for like Jezebel, her recreation, maybe a dedicated room filled with incapacitated slaves for her to feed on, that sort of thing. It's going to take a long time to get started on this because we are obviously only have 2 colonists. One of them's down because we fed on them too much, so we'll see how it goes. And a raid from House Oswin already. I've got Jezebel and Solus on each side of the door here, so hopefully they'll just come through and we'll just kill him pretty quickly. Yeah, easy peasy. There we go, the subjects are already fleeing. Nice. So I've worked out why Apocalypse is breaking down so much. Now, Apocalypse is a hussar. A hussar, they're really, really good at shooting and they're really good at melee. Perfect. Absolutely fantastic for a melee build. However, hussars are also go juice dependent. Now, in the base game of Rimworld, this is not a problem. You can get go juice and just kind of feed them, no worries. We're in the medieval era. Where on earth are we going to get go juiced from? You're just going to suffer all your life until you just die. The food situation around the colony is also not good. It's got to a point now where we're just feeding dead people to our prisoners. I mean, I don't think this is necessarily the end of the world, but they're probably not very happy about that. And the quest available is for the Deserter. Interesting. So this will give us theoretically arcane shards that will make us psychically capable. But we do this. Yes, we get Loan. No worries. But we'll also then fail the quest to get the Storch. The Storch was the extremely good colonist that we got as part of a quest with the Empire, the doe-eyed purple dragon. And Storch was a brain eater. Nice. So I think we're going to just avoid taking the Deserter quest for the time being, just till after this quest. And Apocalypse has decided to go berserk again, and this time he's decided to attack Smelly. Smelly, the ogre who is also a vampire as well. Why? Why would you do this? And Apocalypse has now been converted. Perfect. So now we can now work on making you a slave. And I've re-added the research spot as well. I've gotten rid of the passive research mod. I thought it was far too overpowered. It probably just needed some tweaking, but I'd rather just avoid it. And Jezebel is now enslaving Apocalypse. Perfect. Jezebel tells Apocalypse he should submit immediately. And he's done it. Welcome, Apocalypse. Palladio's treasure hunt has come up as a quest. Palladio, Joris's chief of the Jera Empire, has informed us of some abandoned castle ruins that may contain treasure. No one knows what happens, and there may be an unknown threat. What better thing to do than to send Jezebel there on her own to try deal with it? At the moment, we're just waiting for Jezebel's castles to be built. She's going to enter death rest very soon as well, so we need to get that built real quick. But if we can go over here first, maybe grab some food, something of value, that'd be perfect. And shuttles arrive to collect Marigold. Perfect. Let's get that loaded up and let's grab our new slave. There we say goodbye to Marigold. Goodbye. And Storch has joined. A space marine named Storch has joined the colony. Storch! Hello? Oh my god, look at him! He's got tentacles coming out of his face. He's got a cool hat as well. So, as a reminder, Storch is extremely good at shooting and melee, a critical passion in mining, which is very nice, hard worker and miner as well, so he's got a massive increase in working speed for mining and yield. This guy is going to be an absolute gem for the colony in terms of getting just resources. At the moment, unfortunately, I cannot just imprison Storch. I feel like it's a little bit too much for Solus to handle on his own. So at the moment, we'll allow him to be a colonist whilst Jezebel's not here. And Jezebel has arrived at the castle ruins. What is there for her to deal with here? Nothing. It came up on the thing saying that there was going to be an unknown danger. But obviously not. Jezebel. Let's get in here and see what we can take. Okay, so we didn't get much from the castle here. We are taking 42 herbal medicine and a load of meals that we've just found. As well as a couple of weapons and some really nice Sky Steel heavy plate armor, which is going to be given straight to Smelly once they become recruited. Ooh, a quest has come up with these traders that have come along. We might swing by. I've got to go. Duty calls. Yes. Quest completed. The Caravan Adventures. Interesting. We've had a quest come in for the Hunted Phytokin. Hop Hornbeam Sumac which is a lovely name. A powerful phytokin is crawling from nearby. She was cast out by the House Hesse for giving them the wrong advice, is now being hunted by a search party. 1 billman, 2 footmen, and 1 standard bearer. Now, she will join immediately and then will be followed by a search party, which we'll have to defeat. But at the moment, we have traders here who are enemies of the House Hesse. So if we accept her in and then the search party come, these people just defeat them for us. So Hop Hornbeam, hello. Are you any good? Oh, you're a lovely looking lady. You have giganticism, you're an ocean lover, and you're a scholar. Interesting. 11 in plants, 13 in crafting, and minor passion of 3 in healing. But 11 intellectual, not too bad. As a Garanlakin, you can photosynthesize, you are sapling birthed, and you have a Garanlan affinity. And you're always going to be female. So, at the beginning of this series, I stumbled upon a Garanlan pod. If I remember rightly, it's just here. We now have somebody who is perfect for doing this. So we can have an extremely powerful potential vampire ally who's at 1 with the Dryads. We'll have to wait for Jezebel to come back and then convert her and enslave her first, but this could be really interesting. And there we are. The pursuing pirates have arrived as well. We do still have the traders here, so this is absolutely no problem. Aki has unfortunately been caught lacking outside of the walls and is getting absolutely obliterated. Apocalypse has decided to also go on a mental break as well. Perfect. Subjects from the House Hesse have decided to kidnap who they can and leave. No! Lackey! Well, that's it. That is the end of Lackey. There's just no way Lackey's... yeah, we're not saving Lackey. R.I.P. Lackey. I will miss you. Well, our traders did a very good job here, and they defeated them easy peasy lemon squeezy, and they have left 1 survivor. Barbara Chauncey. You are 10 in archery and 3 in artistic. Talent is chef. I think we're going to capture this person just so then we can convert them into a blood bag for our Sanguophages, and that'll be about it. We have unfortunately had to remove all of the things from Jezebel's caravan. Unfortunately, Jezebel needs death rest. We're just on the cusp of it, and she's just completely exhausted. Her consciousness is only a max 50%, and it's meant that everything else is reduced by 50% completely. So Jezebel, you're going to have to let someone else take over the colony for the time being. And who better than, obviously, Solus. Solus is going to have to take it upon himself to enslave everybody. All of them are just going to have to be arrested, and we're going to have to get them all turned into slaves. Otherwise, we're going to get told off by Jezebel, basically. We are very lucky, however, that Hop Hornbeam came to us as a part of our ideology, so all we need to do is just reduce the will and get them enslaved. Jezebel has returned as well with only a loot of $884, making it one of the worst caravans we have ever had. However, she's still coming back with all the food that we brought back, but that is about it, unfortunately. And now is the time of a vampire for you to rest. We've had her now up for 30 days, and it's time for her to rest. Start your death rest, Jezebel. So I'm not sure how long we need to keep her going for. 4 days. 4 days of death rest. That's not too bad. And enslaved. Solus explained to Hop Hornbeam that she must work or face punishment. Solus has successfully enslaved Hop Hornbeam. Perfect. And a wanderer is offering to join as well. A loner named Alder has arrived and wants to join the colony. Why is it giving us so many colonists? Is it not counting the slaves as my actual people, so it thinks I only have 2 colonists? We'll accept them. It's something for free. There's no consequence from doing this. You are a Pollux-kin. So you're exactly the same as Hop Hornbeam, except you like the Pollux. So you like pollution. Interesting. You have 18 in plants. Jeez Louise. You're an undergrounder, psychically dull, fast learner, but no talent at all. Interesting, but you also have a 5 potential to a passion in social. Well, I guess for the time being, we'll keep you on. You aren't of the correct ideology. Oh, you are of the correct ideology as well. Oh, perfect. Right, we'll quickly enslave you, and then we'll move on with our day. And there we are. Adler has been enslaved as well, so another colonist to add to our collection. So already we can give a expertise to Adler. I think we're going to go for probably harvesting them out just so we can get more from the individual plants, especially if we start planting things like the heal root and everything. Get more heal root would be absolutely fantastic for heals then. Conversion. Solus has tried to convert Thorgan away from his own religion, and Thorgan has been converted. Perfect. Another colonist on the go. Now, Morgan Thorgan Wharton, which is a fantastic name, is exactly the same practically as Storch. Extremely good at mining, but also is kind of good at some other things as well. So when we get round to it, we're going to be absolutely farming resources. So I found the first flaw with Adler here. Adler seems like a lovely lady, really, really good with plants and loves everything about them. However, as a Pollux-kin, she loves pollution. She loves how dirty and filthy it is. She's a filthy woman at heart. What we can do is plant a Pollux bush. Now, these Pollux bushes produce pollution, basically. And she eats the pollution, but then they produce pollution. So I think Adler's going to be kind of like our wicked witch character that potentially loves pollution and being evil, but is also really good at plants. Something that we can expand on later down the line. So Caravan Adventures rescue a friend. Fur sent a letter requesting help urgently. So Fur was the guy that we spoke to earlier, and Storch had a lovely conversation with him. I really hope you get this letter in time. We might all be dead. We came across a large shrine and cracked it open, and masses of mechanoids steamed out. We got away, but ever since, huge hordes of mechanoids keep attacking our village. Now, obviously, we don't know what mechanoids are. We're in the medieval era. We don't know what mechanoids are. You know, we'll ignore what those mean. These great big things called mechanoids are attacking. How strange. So basically, we need to go to their village and assist them. But we can't at the moment because, well, no, everybody's kind of not available. So we'll get around to that at some point. Jezebel can now wake up from death rest safely. It says press the button and wake her up. Welcome back, Jezebel. I have missed you so much. It's unbelievable. I've now queued up a quote-unquote bedroom for Jezebel as well within her castle. The castle's taking a long time to build. Having all of these prisoners and slaves to maintain is hard work. It is so time consuming having somebody have to take time out of their day to go talk to the people, make sure they're okay, feed them, wash them, clean them. Do all those things takes a lot of time, and I think I've really underestimated it. We are getting through it really slowly. We have just enslaved Thorgan as well, so we now have 4 slaves on the go, which is fantastic, and it's lovely because we now have another dedicated miner. But it's taking a lot of time, but because we've now got so many slaves, we can reform the IG Legion. We now have enough development points to reform Bloodpath. We can add memes, we can remove memes, we can change things, and we can do all those exciting things. And with that, we're going to end things there. If you have any suggestions for what we could do with the IG Legion, how we might want to change it, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. So thank you very much for watching today's episode today. I know it's been very slow. I know things have been a little bit less on the productive side. But once we get all these slaves on the go, I think we can just absolutely blitz through and build everything super quick and get everything on the go as well. So that'll be the plan for the next episode. We'll go for actually building things and getting things sorted. So if you have enjoyed today's episode, consider liking, subscribing, and make sure you tell your mum about it. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.